Okay, just a quick one on salvation, redemption, suffering, the suffering of Christ and judgment. Now Christianity teaches that through Jesus' suffering, humanity received redemption for original sin. The redemption has allowed humans the possibility of reaching heaven. In order to reach heaven, Christianity teaches that after death, God will judge people for the way in which they have lived their lives. And Christians believe it's important to show care for others, to show devotion to Jesus. There are two kinds of judgment in Christian teaching. The general judgment, or this last judgment, when God will pass his final sentence on the whole of humanity, as well as the soul and body of each individual. And a particular judgment, the judgment given to every soul when a person dies. Humans were forgiven their sins because Jesus' death, which he chose willingly, cleansed humanity, which meant that people's immortal souls are now able to survive death and reach heaven. And in this way, people achieve redemption. Christians believe they will be judged on the concern they show to others. Jesus' teaching in the parable of the sheep and the goats shows that people who care for others will receive eternal life, but people who simply ignore the suffering of others will be punished in hell. Christians believe that they will receive salvation and redemption through devotion to Jesus. This teaching can be found in Paul's epistle to the Romans. Roman Catholics and some Anglicans believe that people can help themselves lead better lives by confessing their sins to a priest who will forgive them. So, keywords: redemption, Jesus saving people from the punishment of their sins of humanity and redeeming them, and salvation, that Jesus saved people from the consequences of sin. There's a lot of important biblical texts on here. I'll give you a quick rundown. Matthew 16, verses 18 to 19, where Jesus promises Peter the keys of heaven. The parable of the sheep and the goats again. The parable of the rich man and Lazarus. Check the references in the previous video. In Luke 23, verses 40 to 43, where Jesus is on the cross, speaking to the criminals and forgiving them. John 20, verse 23, talks about the forgiveness of sins. Romans 8, verses 1 to 3, Paul explains that Jesus was sent to save the people, and a little bit of something from Revelation chapter 21, verses 1 to 4, talking about this kind of new Jerusalem, the judgment day. So, key thing to remember from this bit: the resurrection and crucifixion of Jesus is essential to all Christian beliefs about salvation, redemption and judgment.